Hare
It's been good
Krishna.
seeing you after so many days. Hope
Yes,
everything is all
yes,
right with you. Hare Krishna.
yes, yes.
Nice. Nice. Hope your health is good. Hare Krishna.
Yes, everything good. Thank you.
All right. We'll begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Continue shloka number 30. न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुं ब्रह्मतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of Keshi demon. Hare Krishna. Purport. Due to his impatience, Arjuna was unable to stay on the battlefield, and he was forgetting himself on account of this weakness of mind. Excessive attachment for material things puts a man in such a bewildering condition of existence. Vayam dityavi Vayam dityavi satahashyat. Such fearfulness and loss of mental equilibrium take place in persons who are too affected by material conditions. Arjuna envisioned only painful reverses in the battlefield. He would not be happy even by gaining victory over the foe. The words nimittani viparitani are significant. When a man sees only frustration in his expectations, he thinks, why am I here? Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested in the Supreme Self. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his real self-interest by Krishna's will. One's real self-interest lies in Vishnu or Krishna. The conditioned soul forgets this and therefore suffers material pains. Arjuna thought that his victory in the battle would only be a cause of lamentation for him. Now I'm going to read these 4 lines again. Very important, dear devotees. When a man sees only frustration in his expectations, he thinks, why am I here? Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested in the Supreme Self. Please hear this attentively. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his real self-interest by Krishna's will. One's real self-interest lies in Vishnu or Krishna. The conditioned soul forgets this and therefore suffers material pains. Arjuna thought that his victory in the battle would only be a cause of lamentation for him. This is very important shloka, dear devotees, in chapter 1, where Arjuna is revoking back to the service he was being given. He doesn't want to do this service. He simply revoked. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Anchagalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prem Se Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pungam langayate gram, yatkripātamaham bande, Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Guruve Gaurachandraya, Radhika Tanahate, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya, Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you. It is so happy to meet you all in this platform to discuss about the glories of the Lord and His devotees. Dear devotees, just think about this. What do we have in our life other than this? What are what are our priorities? And where are we heading towards? What do we really want to do in one's life? Please ask these questions. Bhavasagar is actually Bhavasagar through this samsara. This samsara which we have, this samsara, like our attachments, our connections, our relationships, this is the samsara for us. This samsara is actually keeping one in this bhavasagar. This samsara is not help. This samsara has to help us to come out of this bhavasagar. That is the intention why Arjuna is rebuked. Arjuna doesn't want to fight anymore because he is seeing things through the samsara. Yes, he's seeing things through his attachments. You know, at the time of death, what happens? At the time of death, all our attachments will show up. They take different forms. They're all subtle forms. They all come up one by one. Let's say we have 10 attachments. All those attachments will come, thinking that these attachments will give me protection and shelter. That's what happens at the time of death. But they realize that these attachments are not helping at that moment. And that realization is actually biggest shock in one's whole life. Because I remember many years back, I was asking this question to my cousin. What was this question? Do you ever think about death? Do you ever perceive it? Do you really want to kind of understand how that would work? Then he immediately told me, I didn't even tell these words. He immediately told me, stop that. I have a relationship with him. He's my cousin. He immediately said, stop that. Because he doesn't want to hear that. And then I realized that this entire world is like that. Nobody wants to hear that subject matter. Because that subject matter is, they don't want to go into that realm, into that plane. There are so many reasons for that. One of the reasons Arjuna is showing here. His reason is, how can I do this? Because they're my family. And through a fearful state, where Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here, Bhayam Ditya Bhivineshuta Sat. It comes in Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 7th shloka, 37th shloka. Bhayam Dvitiyabhinivesitah Sat. Through the fear, Arjuna is kept in this state, and then through that fearful situation, dear devotees, what is happening is he is forgetting his duty. Please understand. This also happens to everyone. For example, if there is a difficulty in our life, can we concentrate on work? We cannot. We actually take leave because we tell our manager, no, I cannot work because this is a situation which is happening in my life. I cannot do this. Then they would say you, okay, take care of that, take care of your family, and then come back. Why? Because there's a reason. They understand. If they have a problem, if they have some relationship problem, some family problem, health problem, then they say that we cannot work. The same thing is happening to Arjuna. Arjuna has seen Bhishmadev. Senayaruve Aramadde Radam Sabidam Achyutano has seen Bhishmadev and his teachers, his elders. He says that I cannot fight. How do you want me to do this, Krishna? This is a ghastly affair. This is a ghastly activity. Krishna, I cannot do this. Now, this thing is there in our heart also. We cannot concentrate on something because something else is pulling us. Please understand this. We cannot concentrate. Why? Because it is only consciousness which is driving everything, nothing else. In that consciousness only there is fear. In that consciousness only there is fearlessness. It's all how we see things. Through that way, either we remain in a fearful state or we remain in a fearless state. Please understand, it is only through our vision, it is only through our perceptions we can understand that. We can actually come out of it or we can stay in that. Please understand this, because the more we try to understand this, the more we'll be free. That is the reason hearing is important. We need to think, why Arjuna is being kept like that? Now, Prabhupada explains about that also. That is that is the will of Krishna. That means Krishna's will is that Arjuna has to go to that state because he's a pure soul, nah. But in our life, it is not Krishna's will. It is our foolishness taking that route. Now, I've a lot of devotees would tell, oh, Bhagavan ka ichha hai. It is Krishna's will. That's why I'm not surrendering. A lot of people will tell this. A lot of practitioners will tell this. It's not Krishna's will. That's why I'm unable to do this. It's not Krishna's will. I'm unable to practice. It's not Krishna's will. I'm unable to accept this. Krishna's will is there for his pure souls. Krishna's will is not for the souls who are lost in this world. No, for the souls who are lost in this world, what is Krishna's will? Krishna's will is to accept this process more. That is Krishna's will. Okay. What is Krishna's will? Krishna's will is to accept this process. But here Arjuna is something special, na? Arjuna is very special. Where Prabhupada writes here. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his real self-interest by Krishna's will. One's real self-interest lies in Krishna, not anything else. The conditioned soul forgets this and therefore suffers material pains. You see why we are suffering in this world? Because we have forgotten. We have forgotten the relationship with the Lord. We have forgotten that I have a connection with Him. Yoga means what? Yoga means establishing a relationship, connection with the Lord. A continuous process, a continuous churning in the heart. That how should I do? What should I do? What is good to me? What is pleasing me? What is pleasing the acharyas? What should I do? What should I aspire for? That is a continuous churning process. This is called as yoga, not like I'll do some Press my nose here, press my nose this side. Anulom Vilom Pranayam. They are not the yoga. Actually, you know why they named it as yoga? Because through that Anulom Vilom Pranayam, they at least come to the state of connection with the Lord. That is how they named it. But what happened is the essence is cut, and then they are simply taking that pranayam, doing those activities just to keep this body fit, which can be definitely dear towards when one does pranayam every day, anulom vilom. Yes, definitely his health will improve. And then these people they became so famous because they are curing the diseases of the body through yogic postures. Yes, it is possible. But that is not the ultimate. For that, through that yoga, one should establish a relationship with the Paramatma in the heart. That is the intention. Why yoga? Why yogis would do yoga? But that intention is left. And then we began to stick with this body, which we are not actually. No, who is telling that we are this body? That's another problem for us. Not this body. But Arjuna is pursuing that. Arjuna is telling Krishna, Krishna, I cannot fight. I'm getting sweat. Just the moment I think about this, just the same person who went to Lord Shiva and then received Pashupata Ashram, then the same person who went to Indra and then he fought with him, received that, received another weapon from him, Vajrayudha, another weapon from Indra. So these things are there. That same Arjuna is in this state now. That's a clear indication it is the arrangement of the Lord. But we cannot say, for example, we are so much bogged down or dejected. We cannot proclaim that this is arrangement of the Lord. No, it is one way it is arrangement of the Lord, but in what way it is an arrangement of the Lord, we need to understand. Because obviously it is coming from the material nature. Definitely it is an arrangement. Whose material and who is who under whose direction material nature is working? Under Krishna's direction, material nature is working. Obviously it is that. But what are we doing after that? Problem आया है. What are we doing? How are we solving it? Are we trying to solve the problem through Guru Sadhu Shastra or through our own materialistic way? See, to progress, for example, if you want to send water to third floor, you need a motor. At our home, right? We have, for example, you have a single family home, 2 story, the 3 story, let's say 2 story or 3 story, whatever. To pump the water up, you need some force, correct? You have a machine at your home where you have where water goes in that, and then through that machine it comes to your bathroom because it has to work against the gravitational force. But if the water has to come down, you don't need a machine. You just pour the water, it goes down. But if you pour the water will not go up. For that, there is some work has to be done. Something has to be there in the background. It has to pull the water up. Likewise, what is materialism? To pour the water down. For that, you don't need any training or any activity. We are already in the material plane. We know how to survive, how to do eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. It is already there. But to go up, one require association. To go up, one require pure association. One should hear pure words. These words are what? Who spoke these words? Srila Prabhupada words. They are pure words. So when we get associated to those pure words, what happens? Consciousness improves. Because what are we doing? We are trying to put we are trying to put force, just like a machine put force to send the water up. So we should also put force to participate in Shravana and Kirtana. No matter what happens to our devotees, we should chant every day 16 rounds. No matter what happens to us. Even if you have fever, still you need to chant. You sleep in the bed, chant 16 rounds. Even if you are troubled, still win. Because what can we do other than this? Cannot do anything. Even when we have fever, still read. We can just relax on the bed and then open book and then read. Hear the class. Because these things only will come. Our money will not come. Our family, wife, might be, if we are attached to our wife so much, she will not come. If the wife is attached to the husband, oh, he will not come. At the time of death, he cannot protect you from Yamaraj. They cannot protect us. Because they are all in this plane. They cannot protect us from something else which is not in this plane, which is on a higher plane. Actually, they cannot even see Yamaraj. Only the person who is dying, he can see. Because he is being given that vision. Because he has to pull him outside. So then he'll realize, oh, I'm not this body. I'm losing this body. Then he is in a fearful state. But on the other side, Krishna says, Prasade sarva dukkana. What is this? Nirmana moha jitasanga dosha. Tat prasadam achyuta. This Arjuna is telling, my all at the end. Now here is lamenting. At 18th chapter, at the end sloka, he is telling he's free from lamentation. Now what happened in between? Now here is in the lamented state. Later on at the end, he's free from lamentation. Then what happened? This is the place where he took the association of the Lord. Just like the water is taking the association of the machine to go up, Arjuna is taking the association of Krishna. That machine is Krishna, that water is Arjuna. That water is we. That machine for us is Guru and Krishna. For us, for Krishna, Arjuna is Guru. For Arjuna, Krishna is Guru. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But for us, we have our Guru, we have our spiritual master, and Krishna. Both. For us, the machine is both. We are the mere water. We are water. We are just dependent. We are not independent. We are dependent. Because if the water has to go up, somebody has to pull the water up. And this is a continuous process. If you continuously stay in the association of that machine, the water will go continuously upstairs. But if the water revolted, then it cannot go upstairs. Because it doesn't have capability to go upstairs all by himself. The water doesn't have capability because there is a gravitational force which is pulling him. That gravitational force is a material nature here. Please understand, I'm using some examples to teach a real science. Please think about this. The material nature is like a gravitational force. It will always pull us down. That is her business. That is her duty. She is doing her duty very nicely, dear devotees. Only we sadhakas, we are not doing our duties nicely. We are not up to the mark. We should become up to the mark. Forget about this body, dear devotee. This body has to be left one day. Just train up this body. Just keep this body healthy so that you can practice Krishna consciousness. Just keep this healthy. Do not eat more. Just eat whatever is required. If you have some medical emergencies, please see that that is being taken care. But never aspire for doing more to this. body or consciousness to this body. Because that is what is happening here. Arjuna is completely lamenting in his state. He's thinking about that again and again and again and again. So you know what? You know what happens? You know what is? When we are thinking about a lamented state again and again, we become more lamented. More lamentation comes. Now, through that lamentation, what is happening? Problem after problem after problem, suffering after suffering, suffering after suffering. But the moment when we have that lamentation, if we turn towards Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, towards Krishna, then that lamentation is dissipated. For this, we require association, very strong association. So, likewise, if you understand this truth more and more, then we realize the cause of our lamentation is forgetfulness of the Lord. We might have so many difficulties in our life, but understand the difficulties are coming because we are forgetful of the Lord. Because that is a problem actually, because we are forgetting Him, we are missing Him. Krishna is also missing us, we are also missing Him. You know, Krishna is happy without us. No, He's not happy without us. He wants everyone. That for that reason He has given us this Gita. For that reason He has sent His acharyas. He has sent His pure souls. That for that reason acharyas came. What's the point of Srila Prabhupada writing this book? What is the reason? Why he has to sleep only for a couple of hours every day? Why he has to go door to door to distribute his back to Godhead magazines? Why? His only intention is to please his spiritual master and the Lord. That is his goal. This is Vyavasayatmika Buddhir Ekehe Kurunandana. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi is what? Single pointed focus. Here Arjuna's focus got diverted. That is why he is in lamentation. Because if his focus was simply to praise Krishna, then this thing wouldn't have happened. See, if this is also very catchy. Why is it very catchy? Because if Arjuna was simply working for Krishna, even at this particular moment, dear devotees, then Bhagavad Gita wouldn't have come. Arjuna would have said, Krishna, let's go. We will knock it off. That's it. But that didn't happen. Why? Krishna changed the consciousness of Arjuna. He says, Arjuna, now you lament. Arjuna is lamenting. Arjuna, now you fight. Then Arjuna realized it. Then he fought. That's what Srila Prabhupada says as the will of Krishna. Now we need to take this. For example, if you are not chanting or japa, we cannot say that this is will of Krishna. That is foolishness actually. For example, we are unable to chant our rounds. For example, we are unable to follow regulative principles. For example, we are going and eating in the restaurants. All nonsense. Papa. What is that? Eating in the restaurant. Papa. Sin. Now, the moment next time, the moment you go to the restaurant, you should understand. "Arey, why am I engaged with this material nature? Why am I bringing out? Why am I getting these karmic reactions? That's a sin. That's a sinful activity. Eating non-prasad is what? Prasade sarva dukkhana. On the other side, Krishna is telling prasade sarva dukkhana. That prasad we don't want to accept. And go and eat that in the restaurant. That person who fought with his wife, and then he came and then he's making that preparation and cooking. And then that consciousness which he has, that enmity towards his wife, that goes into that food. That food is already sin, and then now the consciousness is also goes into that food, and then whoever eats that, he will get that consciousness that he will also be envious with his wife after going home. He will also be lusty with his wife after going home, because he ate that food which is not offered to the Lord, which is a food of sin. But on the other side, Krishna is telling prasade sarva dukkhana. Now, these are the things which will keep us away from the process. Krishna is telling prasade sarva dukkhana. If you just merely, prasad means what? Not just prasad. Prasad means mercy. Arjuna falling in that state is a mercy. Mercy of Krishna. Now, we cannot proclaim that, oh, I am unable to chant Hare Krishna. That is also Krishna's will. Now, if Krishna's will is there, I'll chant. Hare, yaar, what is this? Krishna's will already there. He gave you association. Krishna's will is what? He gave you association. He said, use this association and then become pure. Now, we are not using that association. That is our problem. You cannot say that that is Krishna's will. If I tell somebody to surrender, they say, no, Krishna, that is not Krishna's will. That is, Krishna is not allowing me to surrender. Oh, what is that? Foolishness. No, that's not right. This is Maya. Please understand. We need to know the difference between who is Maya, who is Krishna. Very important. This is actually the real experience. Real experience in Krishna consciousness is what? We should be able to differentiate what is Maya, what is Krishna. Oh, it's difficult actually. But we need to get that. We need to get that experience. Which one is Maya, which one is Krishna? Anything which is against what Srila Prabhupada taught us, underline that is Maya. But we should know what Srila Prabhupada taught us. For that, we need to come here. We need to take association. Otherwise, how would we know? Have we read the entire Bhagavad Gita and then understood everything? No. That's why the hearing is important. That's why having relationship is important. So then, anything, now we'll discuss about that, which is Krishna, which is Maya. It's very interesting. Now Prabhupada says, eat only Krishna Prasad. Prabhupada says, do not eat anything else other than that. Consume only Krishna Prasad. Now why Prabhupada said that? Because when one eats Krishna Prasad, he's actually depending on the mercy. That means you should prepare with good consciousness. You should take bath, wear tilak nicely, chant your rounds. I remember my mother, even till today, every day she chants her 16 rounds, then she prepares bhoga. She will not prepare bhoga before completing her rounds. Even till today she does that. She goes to the Mangalarti every day since past 10 years. The father and mother, every day they go to Mangalarti. 4:30 in the morning, every day they go, and then mother will come home. The father will do service at the temple until 6:30 in the morning, and then they come home. And then mother, by the time she'll finish her rounds, and then she'll prepare bhoga. Why? Because that is her instruction. She received that instruction that this is your service. You every day you go to Mangalarti, finish your rounds, and then come home, prepare bhoga, and you both honor the prasad. What is this happening? We are actually in the external energy, but what are we doing? We are trying to go into the internal energy. No, she might not know these details. But what is she doing? She's simply following the instruction. Just like Srila Prabhupada. You remember Srila Prabhupada tells at the Damodar temple, one Mataji, she comes to the temple every day and then she pours water. She gives water to the pujari at the temple so that the pujari will use that water in Abhishek or in the service of the Lord. Prabhupada says, this mother might not know all the details or all the philosophy, but she'll definitely go back to Godhead. Because her intention is what Krishna is watching. Now, this is staying with Krishna. When one follows the instructions of the acharyas, what happens naturally is we go and stay in the association of Krishna. But the moment we are not following the instructions of the acharyas, understand, it might be anything. It is with Maya. For example, I'm chanting Hare Krishna. With this hand I'm chanting, and then in this hand I'm doing like this. I'm doing like this, like this, like this, like this. Hare Krishna is going, but I'm doing like this. Now, where are we with? Are we with Krishna or are we with ourselves? We are with ourselves. That means it's Maya. I'm trying to give some examples, practical examples. We're chanting Hare Krishna, but we are not hearing the name Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We are not in the present state. When this Hare Krishna mantra is going on, either our consciousness will be in the past or in the future. That means where we are associating with. We are associating with the material nature. What is that material nature? We are associating, we are discussing about the past, means that is ignorance. Mode of ignorance. We're thinking about the future, means that is what? That is mode of passion. Staying in the present is mode of goodness. Through goodness only one will elevate one's consciousness. Through goodness only one will take association of Krishna. Through passion and ignorance one will never take association of Krishna. That means passion and ignorance, actually goodness is also not pure. It has to transcend that. Shuddha Sattva. When Shuddha Sattva comes, then only we take association of Krishna. Rest everything is taking association of Maya. Very important. But when one stays in goodness, that means he's hearing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He's hearing and then telling, my dear Lord, I'm simply doing it for you. My dear spiritual master, I'm simply doing it for you. I'm doing it just to please you. This is my endeavor. Krishna, I really want to please you through this service. This is what continuously, consciously you're telling the Lord. Yes, I'm doing this for you, doing this for you. Please accept, doing this for you. This is staying in the present. That means we need to perceive the Lord in the present. We can only perceive something we are in the present state. Now I'll give another example for this, practical. For example, if wife is coming and telling us something. Now you're thinking about office, but your wife is telling something to you. Now you say in between, what did you say? Then she again tells us, again, you're not hearing what I'm saying. That means it's not the problem that we don't want to hear what our wife is telling. It is a problem in our consciousness. That means it's a habit for us to either think about the past or in the future. Due to that reason, we are unable to hear what she is telling. No, this is also one of the core reasons why we do not have good relationships with our family. Because we are either in the past or in the future. Because our state of consciousness is not in the correct way. It's not in the present. Every moment we should be in the present. Slowly, this will transcend to Shuddha Sattva. That has to come. Otherwise, we cannot see what's happening. For example, a person with pure consciousness, when he sees a tree, he will remember Guru and Krishna. His perception is on the absolute truth. He will understand, "Arey yaar, this now it is summer, the leaves will fall when fall comes. And then when winter, all the leaves will go. And then the tree is just bare, doesn't have any leaves. Again, summer comes, again, leaf comes. Now he's seeing that. He'll understand, "Arey yaar, my body is also like this, like a leaf. It will go, and then again, I'll take another body. Again, I'll continue my business." Now he'll think, when will I stop this? When will I stop going through these bodies? This body is a shackle. It's a complete shackle. Jail, central jail. Who goes to the jail? The people who are sinful, right? They go to the jail. Now, our home is actually not Maryland or Baltimore or Tampa or Florida or Memphis. This is not our home. Our home is a spiritual home, spiritual world. That is the home. We are only here on a temporary base. That's why nobody wants temporary. They want permanent. No, even in this life, we want permanent. Nobody wants H1B. They want green card. Green card means permanent. H1B means temporary. They don't want temporary. They want permanent, something permanent, so that there is sustenance, right? That means consciously it is there to be permanent. But the place we are trying to find that permanent, through that permanent happiness, that is not there in this material world. Now, that is the reason, even if one gets green card or he stays in H1B, still he has problems. Please understand this. Because we are trying to find permanent solutions in this temporary world. That will never happen. Just like Arjuna is trying to find permanent problems, permanent solution to the temporary problem. What is the temporary problem which he has seen, Arjuna has seen here? To kill Bhishma Dev, to kill Dronacharya. It is a temporary problem. But through the temporary problem, he is seeing permanent solution in this world. Through the contaminated consciousness. But so Srila Prabhupada says that's not possible. We cannot get solution in this world. For example, if you have a relationship problem, you might solve that relationship problem, but after that you'll get another problem. Now you solve that problem also. After that you'll get another problem. That doesn't mean that we don't solve the problem. We solve the problem, but understanding why these problems are coming. We need to understand why these problems are coming. Now when we understand that, then we know we solve the problem and then we just continue our Krishna conscious business. And we pray to the Lord, please help through the problems. What are we doing? Dependency. Prasade sarva dukkhana. We understand that. We are following it. We are aspiring it. Please understand this very nicely. Because this is what we need to take to the heart. We need to know which one is Maya, which one is Krishna. Any instruction which is against the teachings of this spiritual master, against the teaching of these our acharyas, that is Maya. That is Maya. We need to understand. Now it is up to us, because through attachments only Maya will work. If we have deep attachment to this world, Maya will work deeply. Raga, that's how it is manifested. When attachment is troublesome, aversion comes. Dvesha. Raga and Dvesha. These two things are always there, attachments and aversions. Because through them only they manifest. Now that is a whole point why Arjuna is stressing here again and again, why Srila Prabhupada is stressing here again and again. Become free from this fearful state. That only happens when we take shelter. Otherwise, it's not possible. One time a devotee has been asked, how to be free from fearful state? How does one be free from fearful state? If he is always absorbed in Krishna consciousness, then he'll be free. Very simple answer. Now, how do we be absorbed always in Krishna consciousness? Shravana and Kirtana from pure souls have to be done. Very important. Shravana and Kirtana. You should hear from our spiritual master every day. If you're not doing it, it's a problem. We should have. Otherwise, this material nature is very difficult. I bet you, this is very difficult. It's not easy. Material nature is problematic. Very problematic. Hare Krishna. I'm going to stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Any questions? Any reflections? Any sharings? Any realizations? Any comments? Please do so. And when you speak, please switch on your video and speak. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I just wanted to thank you for this very beautiful class and a great reminder and giving us the viveka between, what is real and unreal in practical terms. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to add anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
and how to differentiate between Maya and Krishna. Prabhuji, as Grahasthas, my question is, we have to have material responsibilities and spiritual responsibilities. And sometimes we have to engage with Maya to take care of our material responsibilities. So, how can we totally, give up Maya and only have Krishna in our life?
Hare Krishna. When everything in our life is going according to the words and the teachings of the spiritual master, then there is no scope for Maya. So, actually, Grihastha life is not material life. Griha Medi life is material. Grihastha means pure. Grihastha is completely on a on a plane of selflessness. No doubt we have responsibilities, but as a head of the householder, it's our responsibility to ensure that our children are also going back home, back to Godhead. If that responsibility is not fulfilled, then we are not fulfilling our duties. It's a problem. Janani pitana sasya, janani na sasya, guru na sasya. If the father, the mother, if they are not helping their children to make progress and go back home, back to Godhead, that is at greatest disservice. So it is up to us how we want to accept this. So the best way to be completely Krishna conscious is one should actually surrender to the words and the teachings of the spiritual master. We should have a trainer in our life who can actually train us. We should actually have a teacher in our life who can actually guide us, who can tell. We should develop relationship with the person. Find that kind of a person in your life. And when you find that, then take good relationship, develop nice relationship, dadati pratignadi guhyamakyadi prachati. Then slowly, through that relationship, without our knowing, we will come to the plane of surrender. We'll come to the platform of pure divine. Then we will engage our family also in that state through pure devotion. That is the only way, bro. There is no other way in this world. There is no other. This is the only solution to actually really come out of those material propensities. Otherwise, we'll just continue doing so-called practice, which will not give satisfaction to the heart. A Mishra Bhakta can never be happy in his life because he's always in struggle because he has so many attachments. So we should slowly strive to take that association more and more and then see what best can be done to our children, what best can be done to ourselves. Very important. We should give them good association. We should give our children good association. We should take good association. If the children are being continuously kept at a place where all materialistic people are there, then what do they become? They become materialistic. I feel so sad actually. I feel so bad to the heart. Why are we sending our very nice children to that kind of place where Srila Prabhupada says it is slaughterhouse actually? When an Acharya says something, what is a slaughterhouse? Prabhupada says, those days in the 70s, the schools in the 70s in America, they're slaughterhouse. Prabhupada said, the kids have been sent to the slaughterhouses. Now, what to speak of 50, 60 years now, so degraded society is. Every teacher, everyone has illicit relationships. Meat eating, intoxication, gambling. They do all of these things and then they come and teach the children at the school. You know what kids will learn? They will also learn this only. I feel so sad actually. I don't know what to do with this situation. Why don't we aspire to send our children to nice places so that they can learn Krishna conscious principles nicely? Why don't we do that? We have some schools in US. Why don't we go to those places? No, we don't want to do that. We are kind of stuck in this world. I always think about this. These children are so wonderful, so beautiful. We have some schools, at least they'll get some sukriti. Then slowly, eventually, they will take up to this practice of Krishna consciousness. That is not given. This entire, their education is completely materialistic. And then how they will become devotees? Now I remember I want to tell something. I don't want to tell the Maharaj name. Yes, I don't want to. This Maharaj, in our movement, this Maharaj is very pure soul actually. Very sincere, very sincere. This soul, very pure devotee, pure soul of Srila Prabhupada, the disciple of Srila Prabhupada, very exalted Vaishnava. It's an American body, very great person. And then he tells that his disciples will come to him and then ask blessings from him, stating that my son want to be a pure, make my son a pure devotee. And then when he says, yes, I'll make your son a pure devotee. Then he will ask, send your son to me, I will make him pure. Then they say, no, he cannot send my son to you. My son has to become a big engineer, millionaire. On one side, you are asking your spiritual master to make your son pure. And when the spiritual master said, you send your son to me, they will never send. They are also initiated. They will never understand. That's why we will never understand their devotees. We will never understand the heart of a pure soul. His spiritual master, that is a life and soul for you. But you are rejecting his words. You know what happens when one rejects the words of spiritual master? He will go to hell. Now, don't be afraid that the moment we are about to die, Yamadutas will come. No, we think that मेरा दूसरा initiation भी हो गया, मेरा first initiation भी हो गया, दूसरा initiation भी हो गया. अरे Yamadutas are coming. Why? Because we never heard the words of our spiritual master. That spiritual master very humbly says, you become a devotee. And then we say, no, I don't want to become a devotee. I want to be there in this material world. My son also has to enjoy. He should get married, have nice wife, enjoy with the wife, have children, slowly here and there going to the temple once a week. This is what they are aspiring. They want to make a living here. There is no living here actually. We all want to make a living here. That's a problem actually, because we have no conviction, because we never took that kind of association. We never took Krishna consciousness seriously in our life. I was just thinking about this. What is this? You are rejecting the words. When spiritual master says you should give everything actually. But you are not even giving, you are not even sending your child so that he'll become good devotee. Now when your son goes to spiritual master, what happens? Doesn't he become pure? Through the pure devotees association, he will become pure, but we don't want to send. Prabhupada, every door he used to go and ask, please send your son to me. I'll train up in Krishna. I will train him up in Krishna consciousness. Nobody will send. That is why Bhavanam Janmanamante Jnanavanma Prabhadate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sahama Samahatma Sudurlabha. This is rare science. Krishna confirmed this. He knows, Krishna knows our heart. That is why he said it's very rare. Science of Krishna consciousness is rare. Now, hodgepodge devotion is there, but pure devotion is very rare. Pure devotion is very rare. To do as per the instructions of Guru Sadhu Shastra is rare. That is why we always remain in materialistic consciousness, materialistic state mind, materialistic frame of mind. We are suffering actually, dear devotees. You know who suffers? Pure devotee will not suffer. The person who is completely materialistic, he is suffering, but he will not realize that he is suffering. He is an illusion. You know who suffers? Mishra Bhakta suffers. His suffering is what? Should I practice, not practice? Should I surrender, not surrender? Should I do this, not do this? He's always in duality. Dualism means what? Suffering. One has to break that ice. A point should come into our life. We should break that ice and then strive to pure devotion. Arjuna broke the ice. Now he tells Krishna, Krishna, now you do whatever you want. Karishya, karpanya dosa pahata svabhava. Shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. My dear Lord, I'm surrendered to you. Now you tell what I'll do. Now you teach me. Whatever you say, I'll do. This attitude we should be with our spiritual master. My dear spiritual master, you tell me what I'll do. You tell me I'll do this. This attitude should come. For this, it requires a lot of relationship. But slowly but steadily we should come to this state. If this state is not there, then we are always in Maya. Now that spiritual master, he's telling how, in what way I have to liberate my disciples. Now he gives another example. He says they go to Vellore Institute of Technology, which is one of big schools in India. His disciples will go there so that they will inspire the students and then see that the students are Krishna conscious. Okay. Now, even in the same, Maharaj says, even in the same Vellore Institute of Technologies, they already have his disciples' children studying there. Now, he says that we can touch all the others, but we cannot touch them. Because the parents have trained the children so much, the devotees will come, you should be careful. They might take you away. You should not go. You should study, become an engineer, make a livelihood, get married, have kids. Then slowly, slowly you can practice. That will never happen, dear devotees. Then Maharaj is telling, I can train up other kids, but I cannot train the kids of my disciples. What is this? This is what is happening. Everyone wants Krishna consciousness as like a health insurance. Oh, if I do this, I'll be free from karma. For that, they want Krishna consciousness. That is why they will get punya only. Because everyone is doing Krishna consciousness karma kanda, not pure devotion. They are doing as karma kanda. Karma kanda means what? Oh, I should be happy. I should get initiated because my karmas will go. Because that person, he will take my karma. Oh, he's like a machine. Why should he take our karma? Because we are sinful. Why should he take our karma? You will never realize this actually. Never realize. Hare Krishna. Is that okay, bro? I'm sure I spoke something else also. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Prabhuji, there's that Yukta Vairagya that we are using Zoom and Prabhupada used microphone and you use that example. Like those who developed the microphone and Zoom, they probably are not in the right consciousness, but we are able to use it for the service of Krishna. So we are
yes.
using Maya in the service of Krishna. Isn't it also possible? We also hear that those who are in Maya, if they even if they go to Mayavadi schools or all that, and then finally they come to Krishna consciousness, and they have many material skills which are all zeros. But once they come to Krishna consciousness, when they add the one Krishna before the zeros, it will become millions. So how can we
Yes.
say that Maya is totally, not good if we can use it in the service of Krishna?
Yeah, we can use. That is perfectly all right. We are using this laptop, we are using our body, we are using everything in the service of the Lord. We are using our money in the service of the Lord. Everything has to be used in the service of the Lord. So yes, they can be used. It is absolutely right. Everything has Prabhupada gives that example in Nectar of Instruction of using the dictaphone. Yes, that is there. So one can be used. But the only problem is one can only do that when one becomes pure. Otherwise, it's not possible. Because attachments are there, na? When attachments are there, that can't be done. When one becomes free from attachment, then it can be done. That means everything. Manasa Deha Jo Kichumar Arpitalu Topa and Nanda Kishore, my dear Lord, everything belongs to you. That means whatever there is in this material world, that also belongs to him. Now, this laptop can be used for watching pornography. But this laptop can also be used for the service of the Lord. Everything can be done. So it can be used. So that means actually material nature will actually help if the sadhaka comes to the pure plane. The same material nature which is pulling, that material nature is also helping. Material nature will also help because that material nature is also part of Krishna. It all depends on our consciousness, how we want to do. If we are congenial to Krishna, then it will help. But if we are not congenial, it will not help. That is a problem. It should be used in that way. Slowly but steadily. That is the way. Very, very important. But for that, one should become free from attachments. Our acharyas can do that. Everything can be used in the service of the Lord. But we can also do that. Slowly but steadily, if we aspire to use everything in the service of the Lord. Very important. Everything means our children will also come in that. Everyone, everyone. Everything has to be used in the service only. Hare Krishna. Is it okay, bro?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I had a question, though it's not directly impacting me, that the children are born with their prarabdha karma, right? So if parents direct them towards Krishna consciousness, but they don't want to go, then it's not their fault, right?
It is a fault to the parents. They come with prarabdha karma, but it is a duty and the responsibility of the parents to remove that prarabdha karma. Otherwise, what's the point of becoming a father? What's the point of becoming a mother? If you are not responsible to, we cannot say that, oh, it is because of his karma, they're not taking up. It is because we who did not give that love to them correctly. Now, eventually, if we do our best, still they are not taking, then we cannot do much. But how much efforts we are putting, that is important. If you are taking them to cinema halls, this and that, if you are taking them to the restaurants, that is all foolishness actually. Because we are engaging them in this material world. When we begin engaging them in this material world, obviously they will not take up Krishna consciousness because this material world looks beautiful. Because it is the material nature, very powerful. Daivi hesh gunamay mama maya durate. Krishna says this is impossible to overcome. Now, Yukta Vairagya is another thing, which using everything in the service of the Lord. That comes in the pure state, which Vamshuras Prabhu was requesting. It is a pure state. After surrender only it comes. That means in a pure state of consciousness, you see everyone in the service. You want to engage everyone in the service of the Lord. That is what Srila Prabhupada did. Everyone, he engaged everyone. Whoever comes to him, he engaged him in the service of the Lord. Everything is used in the service of the Lord. But we cannot proclaim that, oh, it is because of their karma. No. What did we do for that? The Yamadutas will come and ask, what you did? Because your children have not become devotees, what have you done from your side? You did not do your responsibility correctly. They say that you are punished now because you used your wife for your gratification, for your sense gratification. For that you have to go to hell. And then for the children, you did not train them up nicely. For that also you have to go to hell. They will tell pretty straightforward. We cannot say that it's prarabdha karma. They come, but what are we doing? That is why it's emergency. Krishna consciousness is emergency science. We should put our full efforts. Still they are not taking, then Krishna is there in the heart. Doesn't he know whether we are putting efforts or not? He knows everything. सब जानते हो वो, सब जानते हैं अपन क्या करते हैं.
So, Prabhuji, that means all the, pure souls who initially may have got into Grastha life, if their children have definitely go into Krishna consciousness, right? That's what you're saying.
No, basically what I'm saying is the parents' responsibility is to see that their children are trained up in Krishna consciousness. If the children are not taking, that is secondary thing. But how much efforts we are putting, that is important. Krishna is not seeing the results, Amma. Grossly, he's not seeing the results, but he's seeing the efforts.
Yeah, so that's
Now,
what it is. So my
Ishwar,
yeah, go ahead, Swami.
Advaitacharya's son, he did not become a devotee. That doesn't mean that Advaitacharya is not a pure soul. That doesn't mean that he'll go to hell. No. That is, he gave everything, but he did not accept it because it's the individual responsibility again. Even though the father and mother, they're training up, they're giving up every endeavor, but still the children are not taking. That's a problem. But here the situation is not that. The situation which we discussed is spiritual master is ready to give that service. but the parents are not willing to send their children. You see,
Yes.
understand the difference?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji. But but what I'm saying is with Prarabdha Karma, parents cannot, they can give, they will, food intentions, they'll give 100%. But if children's Prarabdha Karma is there, they cannot do. Like Lord Krishna
No,
also had.
prarabdha karma will dissipate. When one practice Krishna consciousness, it will change. Even if you just clap your hands like this, the karma, if you clap your hands for the pleasure of the Lord, the karma is changed. The prarabdha karma, whatever form, it is very insignificant in front of Krishna consciousness, all these karmic reactions. They are under the control of Krishna. Krishna is not controlled by prarabdha karma. Krishna controls prarabdha karma. He is superior to this everything. Though when one practices Krishna consciousness, Krishna will remove this thing just like that. That means the children who came with prarabdha karma, that prarabdha karma is dissipated within no time. When that prarabdha karma is dissipated, then the person will also practice Krishna consciousness nicely. But here, the situation is other way around. Here, the pure souls are readily waiting, but the parents are not willing to send their children so that to practice Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
That is a problem. You understand? The prarabdha karma is insignificant in front of the Lord. Karmas are insignificant, Amma.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. So actually, just to my last thing is that Lord Krishna also had a son who was very like a demon, right? Kind of.
Now, what is his name?
Who I forget. Sam with S. Samba. I don't remember.
Samba.
No. I will tell you the name, Prabhuji. But so it's not true if you don't know.
Pradyumna?
Yes.
Pradyumna is not a demon. Who said
No,
Pradyumna is?
not a demon. Sorry, that's a wrong word. But he didn't. He was not a good character. He always created problems for Lord Krishna. I will tell you, Prabhuji. I will check with my husband and I'll let you know.
Okay, anything which happens in relationship to Krishna, it is by the will and the arrangement of the Lord. Because he's a supreme person. He's not an ordinary personality like us. For anything which is happening, there's the reason and the logic behind it. So, for example, Arjuna falling in that state, that's the arrangement of the Lord. Duryodhana acting or behaving like that, that is also another arrangement of the Lord. But we need to understand, when Krishna comes, all his associates around him, they're actually working in alliance with the Lord. Now, when Krishna leaves, then also the association is there through Bhagavatam. When Krishna leaves this planet, then Krishna left. He is there in Bhagavatam. So when one takes the shelter of Bhagavatam through Bhagavata, through association, when we take that shelter, then what happens? We are also kept in that realm. That means in devotee's life, whatever happens, it is the mercy of the Lord. He will always see that as the mercy of the Lord. He gets a job, he loses the job, everything is the mercy of the Lord. So it's very important. So from where we are learning the teachings is also very important. It has to be bona fide. Otherwise, we'll be confused like this. The bona fide should come through bona fide acharyas. We should only read Srila Prabhupada books because he is a bona fide representative. Very, very important. If you are reading anything else, then it's a problem.
Yes, Prabhuji. His name is Sam, not correct?
I don't know, ma. It should be authorized in Bhagavatam.
Okay.
If it
Thank you,
is not
Prabhuji.
authorized in Bhagavatam, then it is fishy. So I
Yes,
don't know.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, the Samba is the one who, went and ridiculed Narada Muni and asked if it's a boy or girl.
So Samba is the son of Krishna.
Yes,
I
Yes.
know this. I know Samba, but I don't know the relationship between Krishna and Samba. I know
Yeah,
who Samba is.
Jambavati's son.
Yeah,
Jambavati and Krishna.
Jambavati's son.
Jambavati's
That's
son.
right. Yeah.
Okay. I'm little poor with this pastime. So thank you for helping me. So yes, I know the pastime, but I don't know the relationship with the Lord. Yes, that was a reason, because there's a reason why Samba was being kept, because Krishna wanted to wind off all the pastimes in this world. That was the reason why Samba was motivated in that way to do that, because he went against. And then Krishna wanted to teach another principle. If you go against a Vaishnav, then that's a problem. Because he did an offense. So he ridiculed, he did an offense. That through that offense, their entire dynasty was being destroyed. So Krishna wanted to show that also. And then Krishna also wanted to, wind off the pastimes. That was also the reason why it was being done. Make sense? So
Yes, Prabhuji.
that is
Thank
a
you,
more
Prabhuji.
reason. These
Hare
are all good. These are all good. Everything is good. At the end of the day, again, we need to come to our question, what am I doing? How am I doing? That is very important. Hare Krishna. I would like to stop here. If I spoke anything wrong which caused an inconvenience to any one of you, please excuse me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so much for this nectarine class, and you cover so many points. And emphasis on the bhakti, we should have the devotional service, not a karma kanda, in Krishna consciousness too, while chanting or getting in sessions. So thank you so much for this point and explanation, all the points. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So let's pay obeisance to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpataruvasya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Namaste Last Thakur ki jai. Radha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. His Grace Neela Govinda Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Happy
Hare
journey
Bol.
to
Hare
happy
Krishna.
journey to Gita Mataji and Surinder Prabhu's family, and hope we can join. You can join.
What? They have birthday? Whose
No,
birthday?
they are traveling to South Africa for 3 weeks. So
They're doing
happy journey I'm giving them. And then if
Okay,
there are
okay.
ISKCON temples, we have a ISKCON Durban temple, or wherever you go, you just look for the ISKCON temple and
Definitely, Mataji.
prasad. There will be a nice prasadam too. So
Yeah. Thank you,
I will
Mataji.
try to join and give you recitation wherever you are.
Hari Bol.
Hare Bol. Hare Bol.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hari Bol.
Gopinath.